And we are back for round two, segment two. The 40-minute time limit is up. I know we're low budget around here. I'm not at the position yet where I'm willing to pay Zoom $200 a year for the premium service. But this will help. This episode of the What's in Your Head podcast is brought to you by our friends at Act Computers. Act Computers has been providing IT service since 2004 for all of Southwest Florida. So give them a call at 239-283-1120 if you need help with your network, your computer, tablets, phones, what have you. You need cameras installed, smart TVs. And I know you're saying, Don, I want to help you out, but I'm not in Southwest Florida. That's no worries, friend. Give them a call at 239-283-1120 and they can log into your computer over the internet with your permission, of course. Perfect timing for that little burp during our promotion right there.
Who was that? Was it you?
That was Bill. See, that's why they are the unsupervised podcast, because you leave them up to their own devices and they burp all over your paid segment. But anyhow, give Act Computers a call at 239-283-1120. They can help you with online backups, securing your network with two-form authentication, and online backups is 7 cents a gig per month. Forever. Give them a call at 239-283-1120 or go over to act-capecoral.com. And that kind of behavior stuff you can see at the Unsupervised Podcast Patreon page. But forget them right now. Head over to our Patreon page and sign up. Simply go to d-410.com. Click on that beautiful orange Patreon page. Go over to our page and sign up for one of the tiers. We have a $1 plan, a $3.50 plan, and a $7.50 month plan. And after you sign up for our Patreon page, head over to unsupervisedpodcast.com, click on their Patreon page, and sign up for their 10-cent plan. And no, Patreon don't allow that cheap of a plan. But go over there, support their show, and you can also find them. Where can they find you? You guys are on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all that crap?
Yeah, and anywhere you can find a podcast, we should be there, in theory.
Yeah, have you guys discovered like those upstart podcast apps and discover your shows on it? Like they're hijacking your RSS stream somewhere?
Yes, I found one out of Switzerland recently. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind. I guess if I was like a Joe Rogan and I just paid $1 million exclusive podcast contract with Spotify, I'd be a little upset. But other than that, who really gives a damn?
I'd like to back up a moment and apologize for my my partner over here with the belching in the middle of an advertisement. That is definitely 100% Chrissy the Destroyer.
Sorry, my bad.
Now we know why they call her the Destroyer. Morgan Long, OG5's already back in here. Morgan, how is the sound, my friend? And while we're waiting on an answer, Bill was getting ready to tell us about his debacle, his tire failure, his life sucking. I mean, it's bad enough he has to live near me and deal with my nonsense, but now apparently he's having some automotive issues.
The question is, can he see the dump truck from his house?
Oh, the dump truck? Yeah, one of my neighbors, he just bought a really sweet, nice property, and the reason he can afford that house is he owns a trucking company, and so he parks his dump truck in the empty lot next door, cleans out the dumper, and then parks it with it straight up, so it's like 18 feet, and you can see it from like 4 streets away. It's really beautiful on a nice neighborhood street.
How come I haven't even noticed that yet?
You didn't notice that the neighbors across the street got a privacy fence until 2 weeks later? You've left his house 3 times since the world came to the end.
You gotta leave the house first. I know you're quarantined.
By the way, today's a very special day here in the Act Computers podcast studio. We're getting our studio back. There's no more distance learning being taught from this room.
Oh, no, I have another class on Monday.
Damn it. Why? What's up with the school system? Hey, we're going to go on vacation, and then we'll come back on Thursday, and then they can have Friday off, and now it's the end of the year, but you guys got to come back on Monday.
No, I'm doing their end-of-the-year awards for them.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, we would normally do it in
the
class.
You deserve anything.
Yeah, and I always
Easy train, come on, man.
I gotta drive my freaking 12-year-old over to the school so she can get an award handed to her through my goddamn passenger window.
And? She's very excited about that award.
Mail it.
Poop all over her award.
They want their library books back.
Oh, that's the real thing. That just goes to show you.
My kids didn't even take their library books home. And
the school doesn't care about the Chromebooks. They're telling everybody to keep them in case they need them for next year, but they want their library books back. I think hypothetically, because Chromebooks have a shelf life, they're basically saying, well, let's tell the kids to keep them so if they lose them or break them, we can get financed
I
to buy
think
new
it's
ones.
because in case we don't get to go back when planned. And we have to start off with distance learning.
I'm sorry, but if you go out among the unwashed masses and you see the amount of people, children and parent alike, not wearing masks, in Walmart. If you can go shopping in Walmart without a mask, you can go sit in a school for 8 hours because that is some of the most infected area ever.
Are you guys wearing
Really?
masks
Have
when go
you
out?
been in a 4th grade classroom recently? There's a
No.
bunch of nose picking and stuff going on.
Come on, you were in the 4th grade,
I
Dawn.
can honestly say I have not.
It's also the same thing at Walmart, though.
Oh, true. But they're not
Exactly.
wiping it on,
Hey,
on
Karen, do
everything
they
that I
still-
touch. I'm not sharpening.
You can
Booger
pick your friends
pencils.
and you can pick your nose, but you can't wipe your friends on the
They
couch.
still do the spitballs?
No.
No.
No, that's probably a good thing.
Oh, bummer.
No,
I know, right?
no, because that requires a straw, and that resembles too much of a firearm, and they'll get like expelled.
Someone could lose an eye.
But anyhow, for the 3rd try, Bill had a
Oh, yeah.
horrible automotive experience. What's
Yes.
up, Paul Harper?
I blame the CDC. I was driving, minding my own business. I sneezed like a gentleman into my fucking elbow, and I jerked the wheel slightly to the right. I thought I clipped the
That wasn't what
curb.
you were jerking.
Turns out there was no damage to the car, no damage to the rim. So I think I ran. There was a giant bolt. I went back and looked in the middle of the freaking road. Took out both my freaking passenger side tires. I was pissed. It was a rough day. It started raining, and the best part about it, I'm on the side of the road.
Something's not adding up here, Gordon. How is a carriage
Yeah,
bolt?
I feel like being a
This is
douche
like the
right now,
magic
too.
bullet that killed JFK. One bullet hit him twice. How does a single carriage bolt hit the sidewall? It'd be one thing if it hit the center bottom of the first one and then you ran over, but you're saying it hit the sidewall on both of them?
It was a giant bolt, and it had like a washer type head, huge. It was huge, and
It was huge, Caroline.
I thought I hit the curb. I really did,
I
but
think
there
you
was
did.
no. The rim was fine. There was no skid marks on the curb, and there was no fender damage. Nothing. Just the tires exploding.
I just
So was this bolt sticking out of the curb like it was,
where did
Unfortunately,
you
not.
where did you
My
find
story
said
does
bolt?
have- What's that?
Where
Not
did
adding
you
up, Bill.
was said bolt in your tire?
No. I went back and went on the bridge, and I walked. There was a bolt, and there was an old metal giant, master lock that someone had cut.
So what
Break
you're
into
telling
something.
me is you were driving over a bridge, somehow you blew out both tires, and you just happened to walk and find the magical carriage bolt that shot the one tire, went back into the left, hit the other one, and caused them both to blow out on the side, both of them on the sidewall, right?
Yes, or a sniper. I could go either way.
I'm not a
Could-
physics major, but one would think if you hit a carriage bolt on the sidewall, it would deflect and fly away and not go perpendicular or parallel with the side of your car, hit the other side wall, and cause damage. I think you hit the curb. I think you ran over a homeless man.
hey, let's not sleep on the fact that he sneezed into his elbow while driving, which is about as effective as social distancing your car from another.
Here's a little bit more. This is where it gets even stranger. I had just eaten lunch maybe 20 minutes before that.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm full, I sneeze. Swear to God, it doesn't make any goddamn sense, but
Usually
it's
in
true.
sets of 3.
That's-
Ladies
yeah,
and
it's a-
gentlemen of the jury, may I ask a question to the defendant? Did you or did you not, sir, go through the drive-through of said restaurant?
Yes, I did.
And what restaurant was it? I'm curious because
It
we know
was-
you've got a very broad.
No, he
I
has a
was
very
running-
narrow palate. It was
I
probably
was
the
running an errand for work. I was feeling a little bit sassy, so I went through McDonald's drive-through, got myself a goddamn cheeseburger and a fry, and
Now,
ate that,
sir,
and
if you
then-
don't
got a
mind, is
sassy
this
cheeseburger?
is this one of those new
It's big and
fangled McDonald's drive-through that has the island with 2 menu boards?
It was in North. No, where was this? This is in Fort Myers on 41. Right
Did it have
by
2?
Hancock.
Do they have the 2 lines that merge into one?
I believe
Oh, that's
so. I
always
believe
a shit show because you
Well-
think the asshole Mexican's going to cut you off.
I'm not going to go full my cousin Vinny and get Marissa Torme up here with tire diagrams of the rear differentials, but the fact is, you said it was your passenger side.
Yes.
Did you go in the second lane where where the other? Yeah, you went on the left side, right?
I don't remember which lane I went into.
You
get
went on the left side
cheeseburger.
because most people don't go on the right. Therefore, your sidewise scraped the curb, thus making said holes,
setting this all up.
and have enough time that once you got done consuming 14 Big Macs, 2 large fries, and a very small Diet Coke for some reason, it gave enough time for the air pressure to slowly leak out. And since you drive a 1984 Ford Escort, you don't have the low tire pressure light on your dashboard.
Of course
And
not.
so by the time you made it across, flop, 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 flop,
I don't know. The holes in the sidewall were pretty damn big. I don't think it was a slow leak in
It was
any
not.
manner of speaking.
Well,
They were
you're
like giant
assuming.
gashes.
I understand you're the lawyer for the defendant, but you're assuming he's not trying to cover up his tracks by hiding
have
from
to
his
defend
wife
his
that he
rights in
had
the
14
courtroom.
Big Macs, that he basically expanded the holes using his pocket utility tool, his super tool, so he can explain to his wife about this magic carriage bolt that just happened to hit both sidewalls because she told him he wasn't allowed to eat 14 Big Macs at McDonald's anymore.
Best part was it's actually her car. My car's dead in the driveway right now.
Oh,
And I
His
don't
wife's
imagine
car,
you got
not
2
me.
spare tires, so what did you
question
do?
is are you allowed to drive her car anymore after that?
Oddly enough, she seems okay with it. I replaced the tires, so she's fine.
Where did you go?
Tires Plus, it was the closest place.
That sucks. Middle of pandemic.
Yeah, man, $70 to tow the bitch. About
Ooh.
maybe 3 miles.
$70
At least
to
it's not
tow
a
it.
Subaru. You'd have had to flatbed it.
About
Yeah.
what? $80? Did you go low end tire or mid range?
I went cheap, man. 2
So-
tires, $220.
Yeah, it's his wife's car. Who cares?
That's right.
So that
I
was
love
a
her to death.
$300 lunch, not counting the price of the 14 Big Macs, the 5 large fries, and the extremely small Diet Coke. Is that correct?
I was out $300 yesterday.
That's
Yeah,
half
you
of
could've
your.
gone to Hell's
That's
Kitchen.
half of your pandemic check.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, and then don't even get me started on that. My wife hasn't had work in 3 months, and still no fucking unemployment money coming.
Oh,
Stupid
gosh.
sons of bitches.
Morgan Long
It
says
sounds
you
like a
should sue
shit show,
McDonald's.
just like Nevada.
Well, it could have been worse because you were here in town. What was it, about 8 years ago when I took Katie home? My daughter, before she
think
moved
so,
down
yeah.
here, before she graduated high school, she would come spend the summer down here. And at the
Now,
time,
was this in the van that would leave a sea of paint chips behind it?
yes,
The free candy van?
yes.
You
At
got
the
the kid to
time,
drive the kidnapper.
at the time, I was driving the
Kidnapper.
the Pontiac Firebird that my father had bought for my stepmom when I was in high school, and in my late 20s it became mine when I had about 189,000 miles on it and did a lot of work. And surprisingly, the Firebird needed some work, and so it couldn't make that long 17. Well, actually, Kentucky's 17 hours, so it couldn't make the 18.5-hour drive from here to Columbus, Ohio. So no worries, I will take the At Computers work van. Now, I'm a responsible driver, and anytime you're going to drive that amount of time in the middle of summer, make sure you get an oil change, right? So I hopped in the old ride and I went down and got an oil change. And as they always do, they fill your tires up, make sure you have good air pressure, they top off the windshield wiper fluids and all that stuff. And so we headed out here at midnight because we wanted to avoid all the traffic and all the forest nonsense. And so we made it around Atlanta around, I don't know, 6 a.m. and we pulled over and we slept in the car for about an hour and a half. And then we got,
Just in time for rush hour.
and we hit the road. And about 3 hours later, I think this was August, right? Yeah, it was in August, right before school started. And we're driving, and we hear a helicopter coming in, life flight, if you will, because over on the other side, heading south, there was like an SUV overturned with everybody's belongings out in the street. I think it launched 1 or 2 people, which was sad to see.
God.
Jesus.
And so we're traveling. Katie's in the back sleeping because it was a work van. I cleared everything out, so she was laying in the back sleeping. And all of a sudden, kaboom! I'm like, what the hell? And I took control over and I pulled over and
Goddamn bolt in the road.
I looked. There was a goddamn bolt road.
Did you sneeze into your
No,
elbow?
my tire still had air in it.
Goddamn gentleman.
My tire had air in it.
No elbow sneezing.
But the bands, the steel bands broke. I'm like, what the? I know these tires are, need to be replaced. And so I get out the spare tire. Of course, I'm on the side of the interstate. Traffic is moving by 80 miles an hour. And I'm looking at the spare tire. And I'm like, son of a bitch. Because on fleet vans, they don't have like a donut. Your spare tire is just a 5th tire. And apparently at some point, that tire got rotated in. And so the spare tire was a Maypop. I mean, it was straight up bologna skins. There was no tread on it at all. And so I called my dad and I said, hey, I just had a flat tire. I put the spare on, but I'll be honest with you, I'm going to be lucky to get to Kentucky. When I get there, I'm going to have to buy a new tire to replace the spare because it definitely is not going to make the trip back. Okay, not a problem. Calling to get there. Hop in the car, drive, get up to 65, 70 mile an hour. Son of a bitch! The damn spare tire just blew. Get out of the van, walk around, Spare tire sounds at a pound.
Oh no.
Walk
Another
over
bolt.
Walk over to the rear tire, and there's another wave-wheeled magic bolt back into the left, took out the other tire. But interestingly enough, the other tire had the same predicament. Still completely inflated, steel band had broke. Kind of like when you see the retread of a semi-truck laying on the interstate. So now it's Sunday, and it's about, 5:30, middle of nowhere, Georgia. And I have a picture somewhere of us at the truck stop that I limped to, and have AAA on the old insurance, not a big problem. Get on the old Google machine and find the local Wally World. Had it towed down there, so my dad's like, here's what we'll do, because I don't have a company card on me, I just got my money. And so he's like, I'll go to the local Walmart, I'll pay for tires, and just tell them to put them on down there. Simple enough, right? Well, no. He had to do a money transfer from one Walmart to the other.
Oh, dear God.
Pay all those fees. Luckily, the manager at Walmart in the automotive area was being supervised because it was a Sunday like 5:30, and his guys were ready to dip out of there. But he hung around because the automotive side does close. And so he changed my tires. And so now I'm driving, and my dad calls me. He's like, pull over. Because those are both my rear tires. And actually, no, it was we made it to Kentucky, everything was fine, but that was the first day. We stayed at my mom's house, and the next morning I had to do a 2-hour drive to Ohio, drop my daughter off, turn around, and do a 2-hour drive back. And my dad said, before you leave in the morning, go out there and check the front tire pressure. And I did. The tire pressure was maxed out. And this is after the van had been sitting all night. So basically what had happened was, when I went to get my oil changed at one of those speedy, quickie, fasty, giant lube places that have a lot of high turnover and a lot of high school kids working there, the young kid filled my tires to maximum pressure, which is fine if you're driving 2 miles.
Yeah, the tires bulging out around the rim.
But when you've been driving for 8 hours in the hot Florida, Georgia temperature at 93 degrees, shit expands, and that's why both tires still had air on them.
Thermodynamics.
But the tread wheel, it literally expanded until kind of like if you wore the same belt and just ate like the guy on 7, after a while that belt would just pop, and that's exactly what happened. So I dropped 3 pounds.
That's a great movie.
Is it though?
Good callback.
Great movie.
Are we allowed to say that in 2020 because Kevin Spacey played a prominent role in it?
Yes. I don't care.
I don't think it degrades from the movie.
You can separate the art from the douchebag, right?
Dude,
Like, I still like Michael Jackson
light.
songs.
The guy was a freaking little boy peddler.
But he did some good movies.
He did.
Hey,
That's okay, you can have sex with underage boys as long as you're good at reading a script and make it believable.
I don't think he's reading scripts anymore.
Not no more.
No.
Ironically, you know what he did?
He's reading court documents.
I just set up and I got, he pulled a Kaiser Sose. See what I did there?
oh, usual suspect. Did I get that right? Did I get that right?
Yes, you did.
I want another goddamn point.
Ding, ding, ding.
Where's that button?
Yeah,
Where's
where's
that
the button?
And so,
Got a
yes,
Nerf
Bill,
gun.
Oh, okay. Take that one too.
Oh, yeah, I got one of those.
No, please. I'm not Dave. I'm not going to go with that.
Oh,
It's not the size of the Gundy train, all right? It's just,
Oh, it's always about the size of the gun and the size of the magazine.
You call that a knife?
Oh, just hit it right in the boob. Here.
yeah,
Okay, done.
cops are showing up.
Did I just hit my microphone? I did. Look at that. I tried to commit Nerf suicide on the air, and I hit my mic. And so you're still allowed to drive the wife's car, huh?
It's always more
Podcast
fun with
commits
Nerf guns.
Suicide.
I did save the bolt, just so for the record, by the way.
For
it's in the
evidence.
car. Yeah.
No, that's
It's
called
Exhibit
building. What that's called building an alibi.
It's got glitter on it and smells like perfume.
Yeah, I was wondering, like, who did he piss off and got both of his tires slashed?
Well, he does work at a bank, so
Oh, bolts everywhere. Bolts all over the place.
didn't approve my PPP loan. I'll
Someone
show you,
actually
you son of a
sliced his
bitch.
Tires, slashed them.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
It's very possible.
So, what do you guys got coming up on the Unsupervised podcast every Tuesday?
You know, honestly, sir, I don't know.
We don't really know.
Yeah, I never know until like.
Kind of the way we are.
You know what I do?
really don't know.
We refer to our list of shit. What I do is, as I'm driving around and I have a thought or something occurs to me, I'll pull out my phone and go to Google Drive and I'll just put a couple keywords. And so before the start of the show, I'll pull that up That's pretty much
It's
what
like
I
a
do.
little bit of everything and a whole lot of nothing.
I got a little game. One thing we talked about this week, and we had a little bit of fun with the game F Mary Kill.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
In this instance, you have a Jehovah's Witness,
Okay.
a clown, and a
Male or
street
female
performer.
clown?
That's up to you.
It's your sexual preference.
And a street performer dressed as the Statue of Liberty. F Mary or Kill.
Street
Now, is the
performer,
street
female or
performer
male?
female or male?
Again, they're all whatever
yeah.
sexual
You
preference.
decide.
You decide.
In my scenario, and this is the weird part, I pictured the clown as a man, and I said I would hate F the clown because I don't like clowns. I know that doesn't.
Well, then why
seem-
would you kill the clown?
I don't know. My mind went to hate fucking the clown.
If I was Bill,
Disturbed individual.
The old grudge fuck. There you go.
if I was Bill and I was terrified of clowns, what I would do is kill the clown clearly.
I don't like
F the
people knocking on my
Statue of
door,
Liberty
though.
because it's America after all, right?
America.
America.
And then what was the other person?
Street.
Jehovah's Witness.
Oh, yeah.
Jehovah's
If they're gonna be
Witness
one
is
of the
never
150,000
home, so you marry them. There you go. Actually, well, maybe
They're always home. Maybe not on the
maybe
weekends.
F the Jehovah Witness because they maybe have some pent up like freaky stuff, and then
Well,
the
with the
street
clown,
performer
though.
could go out and earn you some extra coins when you marry them.
Plus, the street performer would keep you entertained.
No, no. Let me ask you this, Bill.
Clown.
You host a podcast. You allegedly, much like we do here, we allegedly entertain people, right?
I sometimes two, at least two.
Yeah.
How entertaining does your wife find you?
She doesn't think I'm. There was a
She
time.
doesn't like him. She likes me.
There was a time in my life where I thought I was funny, but my wife proved me wrong.
My perfect example.
Awesome.
All of our significant others and family members, they've been listening to our nonsense our entire lives or however long your relationships. So they no longer find you entertaining. So no, when you marry the street performer, they would not entertain you because you no longer find them entertaining. You would get tired of hearing about their, I stand out in Times Square, painted in gold, like a statue.
I'd like to be a mime. Well, that'd be
That's
good
not.
though.
You're doing the statue
No,
wrong.
mine's
It's
are
the
too close
Statue
to
of Liberty.
clown.
Well, you want to see some good street performers that'll really make you wonder. You have to go down to Fremont Street in Las Vegas, which is going to be opening soon. You will have nuns with no tops on, but pasties.
That's gonna fuck up my
Ooh.
dreams tonight.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Oh no, and they're work too. They're
For those
like
you playing at
30,
home,
40,
Bill is
45
Porky
feet
Pig
back
right
there.
now.
He's not very
Oh
good.
God.
Oh.
Vegas
You've got,
sounds
you've got the
wild.
silver guy, the statue,
Mm-hmm.
and then we've got the worst superhero costumes in the world. It looks like Superman went on a fucking drug bender. Everything's just dirty. Everything's ripped.
Like melted.
It's some funny shit. But what's interesting is they now make them have a business license.
I've heard
So
that.
they can't afford to dry clean their Spider-Man onesie, but now they got to drop like $50 on a business license,
Absolutely.
which means that the city taxes them on their panhandling.
Oh, hey, county's got to get its beak wet. Absolutely.
Who do you think
and
would
part of
win?
it was just to limit, because we were actually having characters fighting each other on the streets.
Well, that's
I'd
my
pay to see
Two
that.
Supermans duking it out.
that's my next question because on the Unsupervised podcast, you guys are kind of wrestling fans. You even have a championship shit ass trivia belt somewhere in the studio. Who do you
Where?
think would win in a battle royal? The alleged street performers from Las Vegas, the street performers, including the Naked Cowboy from New York City, or the street performers that hang out in front of the Chinese theater in LA?
My theory is going to be the naked guy because nobody wants to tackle the naked guy.
Well, technically, if you guys aren't familiar with the Naked Cowboy, he's in a pair of whitey tighties, but he is stacked. That dude like works out, at least he used to. I think he's like 70
Oh,
now, but
yeah.
he was always on Howard Stern back in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah,
I think the LA guy would win because he's probably just disease-ridden with plague and everything else because of all the rats around there. So he'll just walk
nobody
up
wants-
and infect.
Doesn't New York have a lot of rats too, though?
Oh, yeah, their rats are like the size of Nutrient from Louisiana.
Yeah, but they don't have like 60,000 homeless in their city.
That's too cold
It's
for
too damn
that.
cold. That's why they all migrate to California. Now that you can legally set up your shack in front of a multi-million-dollar house in Venice, go for it. Have you
Oh,
guys
man,
seen?
how pissed would you be?
Have you guys seen that movie
And, you
Scoob?
know, I swear we were there right before the year Melody passed away in the spring,
Yeah.
actually in the winter, and we were driving around, and it is true. There are tents everywhere, right along the freeway going into Hollywood. and everything. It's just it's
sad.
insane, and I think hopefully they're not coming here. But I have seen an uptick in homeless lately after we went opening on phase 1.
Now Morgan Long
Release
is
the
trying to.
homeless. It is phase 1. Release the homeless.
Morgan Long is trying to come to Bill's defense. He said he drove a wrecker for 10 years. That's a tow truck for you uninformed. He drove a wrecker for 10 years, and you wouldn't believe what gets stuck in people's tires. But come on, Morgan Long, you can't tell me that one carriage bolt hit the sidewalls of 2 different tires.
It was like that big, man.
Well, you know how men exaggerate size.
That big.
Yeah, don't we ever? I mean, what are you talking about?
It's like that big. It could have been the master lock. There was literally also sitting next to the bolt. There was a old metal master lock on the
was
ground too.
And then next
Both
to that was a knife.
The bolt
and
and
a
the
hammer.
master lock.
I actually was thinking that somebody had cut up a Red Bull can and used it to get in the master lock, and that's what's actually laying on the road.
Possible.
Red Bull can slivers.
There was also a troll
Hey,
with
D-Train, I'm gonna ask you a question. Look at your microphone.
Uh-huh.
Is the orientation right on that thing, or are you talking into the backside of it?
Oh, I'm talking right into the front, fella.
Okay.
Right where the logo's at, right in the sweet spot.
Okay.
Make me check mine. Okay, good. I was worried mine might be backwards too.
Now, when Bill
Yeah,
comes in
that
our
sounds great.
studio,
Mine's
he
great.
likes to manhandle my mic stands. But now I see you guys have got very similar mic stands over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Look at
go.
you.
Show me yours. I'll show you mine. Yeah. They
I
came
don't
with
know
our
how
little
long
mics.
mine's gonna last.
You guys got the good mics. I like your mics.
Yeah.
The mic's good, but my stand's a pile of shit. I gotta.
Yeah.
Well, that's on you. We here at the Digital 410 Network, thanks to the OG5 and Act Computers, we outfitted you with the microphone, but I think you can spend the $18 on the stand.
Well, I did just drop a big chunk of money on a new machine so I can actually do videos.
Yeah, but you're the moron who decided to order a machine in the middle of the pandemic. I'm still waiting on the case of toilet paper I ordered back before this thing started. I still haven't gotten that on Amazon.
Get the
What?
bidet. I swear the bidet is the way to go. It'll show up. You'll have a freshly showered ass every time.
Let's talk about that. Have you guys ever used a bidet, Bill and or Chrissy?
I'm waiting. I want to.
No, I've never used one, but we've talked about it quite significantly
What
on our
about the-
show too.
Now, don't they make like the poor man's bidet where you just like plug it in your toilet tank and you put like one of those? Carrie, you're a dental assistant for years. What was the thing that you put like the squirt the water in people's mouths?
God.
I do got the poor man's bidet.
Oh, I
got it
thought you
off
went out
of-
like actually bought new bidets and like put them in. I didn't know you put the dental straw on there.
How does it work though? Because there was a commercial on the other day, and he started talking about it and said that you got two of them.
Just like that.
Well, I know that, but I'm like,
It's the
I know
bill-
the
It's the water
It's
pick for your
called the
asshole.
clear
No, the premise is
reader, if
behind
you really
it.
want to look at it.
That was my name in high school.
What was
clear
it?
reader.
The clear rear.
I don't know what that means. Gordon, wait a minute. Well, you have a bidet set up, right?
Yeah, we ordered one for each toilet on Amazon. They're
Did you get the-
$10 a pop.
Did you
Is
get
it
the upgrade
cold?
with the LED lights that make your whole toilet water blue and red?
Well, if the water's been sitting in a tank, it's closer to room temperature.
Okay, that makes me feel
Actually,
better.
no, I'm sorry. It is. It's coming right out of the line. I had to think about it.
Well, he's
And
also
it
in
is the same
Vegas.
line that basically runs from the wall to the toilet.
Yes, okay.
Runs into that. But yeah, but you know what? I live in Vegas. I don't mind a little chilly water.
Little refreshing.
Little chill.
Now, if it's January in Buffalo, New York, you may
Ooh,
want to
that's
rethink that.
It's a new version of the cold shower. You know?
Oh,
Do you feel a
Nope.
little naughty the first time you used it?
No, I just was delighted in how clean.
You didn't feel guilty for feeling
Clean and
delighted
fresh.
that something
Nah,
was tickling
I'm
your
pretty
new holiday do?
secure in who I am, so there's no guilt there.
Now,
only if he's just using it for fun.
now, not to get too disgusting here, but
Oh, here we go. Where's your Tom McDonald?
oh yeah, let me find Tom. No, it's going to blow everybody's speakers out. I'm gonna go, that's too loud.
I'm ready. I had the
We're
volume.
racing.
It just sounds like our.
Hi, my name is Tom McDonald. Welcome to the show. If you are easily offended, then you probably should go.
So,
Jeez, that was loud.
which direction does the water squirt? Back to front or front to back?
It's one direction.
Now that's a
It's a
band.
shitty band. But this one's interesting. It's actually got another setting for the female.
Well, that's what I'm getting to because as the females know,
Reach
you,
up front.
as the females know, you can only wipe in one
Inclusive.
direction.
I like it.
I might try that one too, though.
But that was my question. If
The
you
old taint wash.
if you install it wrong and you're going back to front, you might get some debris on the boys, if you will.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't move. It's just a straight shot.
That's where COVID-20 comes from.
and poorly installed bidets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we've got to back up a minute, D-Train. You said you're still waiting on the case of toilet paper?
Yeah, so when this whole thing
What's
started,
been going on since then, buddy?
well, when this whole thing started,
And you don't have a bidet.
and by the way, I was at Publix today, and I bought the last Chubb pack of toilet paper. They had a bunch of like the single rolls like you get at the hotel. But even at Publix, I don't know if they literally have 3 cases in the back and they're just fucking with people
I think so.
or what.
So you're
but-
saying you bought the commercial monster roll?
No, what I'm saying is I bought the last pack of Angel Soft. The only thing they had left was the individual toilet paper rolls that are wrapped in paper like you get in the hotel. But when
It's
this whole
like
thing
tissue
started,
paper.
I saw which way the wind was blowing, and I thought I would get ahead of the curve while everybody else was trying to flatten the curve, and I ordered like, not a case, but I ordered like 15 rolls off of Amazon. And as of right now, it's still to be determined when they're going to be delivered. They were supposed to be here 3 weeks ago. I'm actually going on Amazon right now. I'll tell you the date I ordered them and when they came in. But yeah, no, I've been waiting on not only that, but for the first time since using Amazon to order parts for At Computers, I had an Apple motherboard. That's right, you Apple lovers. An Apple motherboard lost. And so I'm on my 3rd one. I've ordered 3 of them. 2 of them have been lost in the mail. And the next one's allegedly arriving on June 3rd. So my toilet paper here is running late. Tap for details. Order date, March 22nd.
No shit.
Yeah.
You're not just waiting.
Wow.
Like you found other options, so that's
Now,
good.
this isn't even name brand. This is Lavany 8-piece hollow roll toilet paper bulk soft 3-ply hygienic roll.
3-ply.
Yep. And
It's hygienic.
in the
That's
middle,
Amazon talk if I ever heard it.
paid $19.98 for this, and I've yet to get it.
So Don, we got 7 minutes to do any news.
Okay, well, let's get it
go for
going.
it.
So it's a little more. We're going to breeze through this, and I'll read. This is Fort Myers, Florida.
Woohoo!
So I didn't know there were bears in Florida, but evidently
Oh,
there are.
yeah, there's bears all down Naples.
bear.
And, yep.
Well, allegedly, a black bear had been roaming around Florida City, the Florida
Hey,
City.
boo-boo.
How do you say Fort Myers?
Fort Myers.
Oh my.
Okay. And
Sure, pizza.
they just were having a hard time getting this 20 or 250 pound bear.
All you gotta do is put out some picnic baskets.
Exactly. They spent a good chunk of Tuesday morning while it was meandering around. Wildlife officials said the bears tend to move more in the spring and in search of mate and, as always, food. So what did cops do? They do what cops do. They lured the son of a bitch with donuts.
Oh, absolutely.
I was gonna say that, and I thought, my gosh, that's kind of racist.
Not, that's not racist.
Or
A cop is not a race.
stereotypical. That's what I meant.
Yep. So because they didn't want to do the tranquilizer, because the bear could just still keep going for a while, they got it in with donuts and.
Well, wait, did they just put a single box, or did they put like a line into the back of a truck?
I'm thinking it's more like a line into the back of the truck. They didn't really specify,
Donut.
but there is actually about 4,000 black bears in Florida.
Yes, and they're all down in Naples.
Yeah, they
People
really
find
are.
them in their pools, and when it's real hot outside, like they break the screens out and they just go swimming in their pool. You'll find them in your garage. Yep, they're all over the place.
And then this is also in Florida, but evidently, did you see the video of the hungry alligator who tried to eat the wall hanging of turtles on the front porch?
No, stupid alligator. No, but I did see the.
alligator. This is in Venice, Florida, and I watched the video, and it's literally climbing up the
I
chair
just-
in front of it and snapping at that thing, and it was caught on the Ring
Ring
doorbell
doorbell.
camera.
There was footage down in Naples of one of the watering holes. It's all the water's drying up, and it's full of like those walking catfish. Did you guys see that footage on the news?
Oh, I did see it. It was kind of terrifying to look
So you
at.
have
Going
these,
over the
Did
gator.
not.
they have these 3 alligators, and the water's almost evaporated, and they're literally up to their elbows in just hundreds of walking catfish. I'm sure they loved it because all they do is open their mouth and it would just fill them up. But yeah, they were just the whole thing was just full of catfish.
Incredible.
Yeah, it's kind of disturbing.
Yeah, it is very disturbing. Walking catfish is things nightmares are made of. But speaking of
No,
things
that's
that are-
robotic dogs.
Well, actually, yeah, especially some of the stuff out of the Boston.
Yeah, those damn dogs. Now, I think like in Korea they have one that they put a camera on. They were using it for enforcing social distancing. But yeah, those things terrify me.
Well, speaking of something that's potentially terrifying, the deepest ever sighting of an octopus has been made by cameras on the Indian Ocean floor. Do you know what a Dumbo octopus looks like?
I do. They're so cute.
Do they have big ears?
They got big ears, yes. Animal was spotted at 7,000 meters down in the Java
Holy
Trench.
shit.
Almost 2 meters, almost 2 kilometers deeper than previously reliable recordings had filmed.
But this is America. I don't know what kilometers and meters mean. Can you say foot and inches, please? Can you convert that for the rest of us?
No, I'm not
Meters
gonna
don't
do
mean
that.
nothing.
4.3 miles.
There you go.
I made that up. I don't fucking know. I have no
Sounds
idea.
good.
It was a big ass octopus.
Obviously, this name was a nod to the prominently eared Disney cartoon, Dumbo.
And Disney is currently working on suing them for copyright infringement. They will deliver that here soon.
There you go. So we got that, and then there's just one more thing, and I'm just kind of breezing through this quick. Ghetto, the term ghetto gets thrown around a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, evidently, Denmark residents are suing over laws for dismantling of ghettos.
Why?
Well, a group of Copenhagen residents sued the Danish government Wednesday over legislation that authorized the dismantling of neighborhoods, which are designated as ghettos, arguing that the measure discriminates on basis of ethnicity and should be overturned in court. The legislation adopted in 2018 for the state proposed the reducing of residential segregation. So the idea is to get rid of the segregation.
Why wouldn't you
But
just
the
say
people living in the ghettos don't want it.
Why wouldn't you just say you're destroying affordable housing? Why would you bring the race thing into it?
It's not race.
Exactly.
Well, I'm not bringing race. I think it's more Jewish ghettos.
Oh, okay, yeah, well, I was going to say over
Where the
Europe.
term pretty much comes from.
Yep.
I know we are running low on time, so I
Yeah,
can't
we
get
got
too
2
long
minutes
into
and
it.
46 seconds left.
But Denmark is basically gentrifying their neighborhoods by dismantling their ghettos. So where will those people go? Who knows?
Thank you so
That's
much,
all I
Gordon. Real quick, Bill and Chrissy, where can people find you in the Unsupervised Podcast?
Anywhere on social media, it's unsupervised
03.
on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or anywhere.
Bring that back.
You can listen to a podcast. We're just Unsupervised Podcast. Find us there.
Thank you guys so much. And if you want to help support the show, maybe help us afford a premium version of Zoom so we don't have a 40-minute limit and we're not now counting down to 2 minutes and 6 seconds, head over to d-410.com, sign up for Patreon, and sign up for one of those tiers. Please head over to YouTube. We're getting closer, not close enough, but closer to that 1,000 subscriber mark. Go to YouTube, look for Digital 410. And while you're over at D-410, clicking on that Patreon link, go ahead and check out our T-shirts. We got an inordinate amount of T-shirts in the new What's in Your Head podcast. Shirts will be out soon. And if you want a What's in Your Head podcast sticker, email us at info@d-410.com and we will direct you on how to get those. Nugget will make those by hand for you out of frustration and love. Thank you guys so much for continuing to support the show. Thank you, Carrie, for your quiz mastering and hang around.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you, Nugget, for continuing to open the door in the middle of the podcast so the microphones can hear it. That's great.
I thought you had a ghost.
And we're down to minute 14. This is called stretching, people. Stretching the content.
At least it wasn't a parrot or a
No.
bird.
No, not yet. I've often thought about bringing Sammy in here, but it's past her bedtime and she'll be cranky. She'll just sit here the whole time saying, gotta go night. Gotta go night.
What happens to Chrissy right now?
Yeah. Past her bedtime. And she wants to go home and watch the new Naked and Afraid. But we're now down to 55 seconds, so thank you guys so much. And
Thank you,
as
guys.
always, if you don't get out of your comfort zone, you'll never get out of bed. So thank you guys so much, and we will talk to you next week, because I'm going camping tomorrow with Nugget. Wish me luck.
Woohoo, I get some
Thank you,
quiet
guys.
time.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, Gordon. Bye, guys.
Bye.
This has been a Digital 410 production.